Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. I've got the dulcimer out. Hang on for the fun, okay? First of all, we're going to do a real easy version of the fiddle tune Sandy Boys, okay? And we're going to do it in the key of D. I'll explain that in a minute. But if you'd like tabs for this, I do have some available over at Patreon. The link is down below to sign up. It's $5 a month for all my tabs on all my instruments. Okay, so we're going to play the tune first, all right? But then we're going to talk about something I get asked about a lot on all instruments. How do I play with other instruments? You're fixing to learn right now, okay? This little thing right here is amazing, all right? And on all instruments it looks a little different, but this is a capo. And I'll put a link up to one of these below. There's tons of them. You can get them all over the place. But if you want to support the channel, you can grab one from one of the links below. Okay, so if we slap that capo on, we're going to put our instrument into a different key. Okay, so a capo, all it does is it moves our nut, our 0 fret. Okay, it moves that. All right, so we want to be in the key of A. Right here is the key of A. All right, at the 4th fret. And what I'm going to do is, the awesome thing about a capo is if you want to play and not change your fingering, meaning you use the same tab for it, a capo is the way to go. Okay, so this tab that I've written works for both of these. Okay, so we'll get into that in a minute, but first we're going to just go through it. It's just real easy, simple tab. Okay, we're going to go through it and learn the song Sandy Boys. I'm real excited about this because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little series of play-along stuff. Here we go. We are in D-A-D tuning, and since I went outside, I live down south, okay? It's hot. But beyond being hot, it's also very humid. When I go outside from being inside an air-conditioned home, I've got some issues. I've got to retune. No big deal. All right, we're in the key of D here, and we're going to play through Sandy Boys. Here we go. Slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Ready, go. Repeats. Now the B part. Repeats again. Okay, and from the bingo video, you learned that we can add strumming and we can add some chords. So we're going to add 2 chords you're familiar with, the A5 and the G. Okay, here we go. Part. remember earlier when I talked about this capo, all right? We're going to take this capo and we're going to put it on the 4th fret. So if you have your dot, there's your 3rd, and you just go 1 past it, all right? If not, you count up 1. This is your 1.5 if you have it. 2, 3, 4. So we put it just behind the 4th fret, and we press it down and we tighten it, all right? And you test your notes. They should be clear. They should be clear notes. And do something for me. Turn on that capo, turn on that tuner. What are we in now? Look. We're in the key of A. Instead of D-A-D now, we're in A-E-A. All right? And for those of you who know, that's the same tuning as a baritone, but a baritone is lower than our D that we start with here. This is going to be higher. So a baritone's already in the key of A. Now this is in the key of A. Wow. This is going to be cool. Okay, so now take your dulcimer and go whoop and just move it over a little bit. You're probably going to have to do that, okay? Now let's talk through these frets. All right, now where your double dot is, or your old 7th fret, okay, that is now your 3rd fret, okay? So this zeroes us out, all right? So for the tab, the way I have it written so that everybody can play along, okay, so the way I have the tab written is so that you can play it open, or if you use your capo and zero it out, meaning this is fret 1 right here, okay? So if you have the 6.5 fret, that's like having our 1.5 now, okay? So we've got 1, here's the 1st fret, here's the 2nd fret, because that's our 1.5, 3rd fret, 4th fret, okay? Now, from 4 to 5 is a big space, all right? So we need to move a full step to get to 5. There's 5, there's 6, there's your new 7. I'm going to do that again. All right. So for this tab to work, when you've got the capo on, you have to count this as your nut. It's like, here's the beginning of your dulcimer now. 1. Okay? So we start right here, and we've got our 1. Our 2 is right here. You may not have this 1.5, and you may have 2 big spaces here. So that's the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. Now, when we look down here, we've got the 4th fret here is a big space. The 5th fret's a big space. So when we come back here and we go from 4 to 5, we have to do a big space again and not count this one. So that's 5, 6, 7. Okay? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our new nut, okay? So now we're going to play it in the key of A, and I'll do it with the strums and everything. We just played that in the key of A. Okay? That means any instrument in the key of A, all we do is slap that on, play the same fingering, and we're playing with them. So that means we're playing with a fiddle, a mandolin. If you see a banjo and it's capoed on the 2nd fret, it's probably in A to play along with it. So yeah, we can play along with it. Now remember your rules here. You can make chords out of this stuff, and the mirror works. So here we go with the mirror. Now, I hope that made sense to you and helped you to realize that you can play along with other instruments. Just because you're not in the same key, you don't always have to retune. You can retune if you want to, but you don't always have to retune, and you don't always have to play a different fingering to be in a different key. Now, the capo is a really good and fast, easy way to not change your fingering. Okay? So one step further would be to ditch the capo and play this in the key of A using different fingering. I'm not doing that right now. This is a beginner lesson showing you that the capo can be a huge help. Me, I'm just lazy. I'd rather use a capo than learn new fingerings. Okay? So, there we go. I'd rather use the same fingering or change my tuning. Because I play multiple instruments, I need to be able to do it fast. I need to be able to remember all these things, and learning the different fingerings for different keys is just, I'm not a professional musician. So that's just a little too tough for me because I play all these different instruments and such. So anyway, okay. All right, I hope you enjoyed that and got something out of it. And before I go, I always want to remind you that Jesus loves you. Bye-bye, y'all.